Guys, welcome back to our channel, and today's video we are going to go ahead and draw a Hamsa hand mandala, and the materials required for that will be few simple materials, which is a blank sheet, any size you were comfortable to work with. The next we would need are few of the fine liners, starting from the 0.5, 0.3 and 0.05 mm, or whichever you are comfortable to work with. Next we would be needing a compass, any compass would work, pencil and a scale. And to add a bit of colors, we would be using the Brewster colored brush pens in the shade sky blue and a bit of the darker blue, which is the navy blue. So these are the materials that we are going to be using in today's session. Before we go ahead and start creating our Hamsa hand mandala, let me just brief you about what is a Hamsa hand. Basically, a Hamsa hand is a Middle Eastern amulet, which is a right hand palm, always considered as the right hand palm of the god, and also in some Jewish culture it is said to be known as the sign of protection from the evil eye, and few of the Middle Eastern Christians believe that this brings prosperity and joy and happiness to the owner who possesses it. And we are going to combine this amulet structure, amulet outlining, with the mandala patterns here, which is going on and filling each and every layer with repetitive patterns. And let's get started with today's session. So the first thing that we do is take out our paper, then take out our compass, place it somewhere around the bottom half of your page, and go ahead and draw a circle, a complete circle as big as you want your bottom half palm of your Hamsa hand to be. The next thing that we do is we take out our scale and our pencil. Next, place it along the center area, along the center of the circle that you have made, and draw a straight line till the upper area. Next, we go ahead and approximately add 1.5 centimeter distance or 2 centimeter distance. Draw another line, same way on the other half as well. Through the center line, we go ahead and draw it out. So approximately till here, or I'll just extend it a bit, both halves. So I'm going to draw it here, and I'll go ahead and draw the other line here as well, so that it's approximately, erase this off, it's approximately 3 centimeter along a circle. Let's measure it out and check it out. No, it's a bit more than 3 centimeter, approximately 5 centimeter to our circle. So as much as big your circle is, go ahead and draw the line that much bigger. There's no specific rule in case of that, but as much as the breadth is possible. Next, what we do, from the center line, we go ahead and draw 2 more lines, forming each of the fingers here. The mid lines would be longer than the side lines. Then what we do is, to the side lines as well as our midline, we go ahead, I'm just going to reduce this one as well a bit more so that it's of the similar length. Keep in mind approximately similar distances between each of these. Alright, next what I'm doing is I'm creating a bump or a semicircular kind of a shape, the bigger in the mid area. Reduce the length of this one to keep it symmetrical. And again of the same height as the first one bump that we did, we're gonna draw it out. So we are done with the basic structure. We'll go on erasing the remaining lines off for a bit so that it doesn't create any confusions, forming the 3 fingers of our Hamsa hand. Next, what we do is along this side from the right edge, once where the circle and the last finger meets, this last elliptical shape meets, we are gonna draw 2 arcs on either side. Keep the distance and height as symmetrical as possible. And then we are going to go ahead and from this end we are going to curve it and bring it down and join it to the circle end. Forming the complete Hamsa hand structure. So what we are going to do is we are going to take out a thick tip fine liner. I'm going for the 0.5 mm here. I'm going for the Brewster 0.5 mm tip here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and outline the structure. Go very slow, try to be as steady as possible. Go for slow and steady breathing so that your linings don't come shaky or wobbly. And I'm just going for the outer sheath and not of the inner linings, anything. Just forming the upper bumps, not going all over the inward lines. Rotate your page as you move along. It will help you go ahead and draw the structure as neatly possible. For this curve along, we just go on rotating our page so that the curve comes out perfectly smooth. And we are done here outlining the structure of our Hamsa hand. What we're gonna do is just quickly erase off all of the lines, pencil lines, so that it doesn't bother us. So it's very important to use your pencils very lightly with a very minimal pressure so that it's easier to go on erasing it out. The next thing that we are going to do before we start off filling in with the inner detailings is we're going to just use our pencils and redraw it. Redraw the complete structure, making an outline to it, so that once we add our mandala patterns to this structure, it doesn't get lost or looks clustered. Rather, it has that neatness and the identification of the amulet over here. Very gently, again using the pencil, going ahead and making the outlining structure. For the curve, I'm just rotating my page towards my side so that it's easier for me to draw it out. And again, using the thicker tip fine liner, I'm just going to redo this outline as well. So here I'm done redoing the outlining of my Hamsa hand as well. The next thing that we are going to do is go on combining the mandala with this Hamsa hand layout. So what I'm going to do is again take out my compass and place it at the center point. Go for a circle approximately 1 centimeter. And to that I'm going to add an outlining circle as well. And the next thing that I'm going to go on doing is I'm going to keep a bit of distance, approximately 0.5 centimeter. Go on drawing the concentric circles, and to each circle I'm going to go on adding an outlining circle, approximately leaving a 0.1 or 2 centimeter distant like this. And I'm going to keep moving till I reach my upper end. I'm not going with this circle over here at the end because this has formed a shape and we can normally fill it out. I'm just moving ahead towards the topward region. Same way, going for 0.5 centimeter approximately distant circle with an outlining circle to that. You can go for variation in distances as well. Go for a bit narrow one or a bit thicker one, anything of your choice. Finally we are done till the top area. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is take out a bit of thicker tip that we were using. So I'm going for the 0.3 mm here. And before that, what I'm doing is I'm taking out a pencil, and at the center area what I'm doing is I'm going for a circle. You can use your compass as well. I'm going freehand over here. And towards this circle what I'm doing is just gonna make it a bit symmetrical. Is I'm adding a petal like structure. You can draw an approximate straight line so that it's completely symmetrical. So from here I'm going for a leaf like structure which is bumpy at this center area where the circle passes through it and pointed at the two edges. Same way on the other half, forming the eye like structure which is a symbol of the evil eye. Like this. And I'm going to go on adding an outlining structure to this as well so that it has its own definition and doesn't get lost among the patterns. And what we're gonna do is, taking the 0.3 mm fine liner, we are gonna go ahead and redo each of our circle as well as our eye over here. For the eye structure, reversing it so that it's easier for me more. And we are gonna go ahead and redo each and every circle of ours. be very patient while you're drawing the circles and go on continuously rotating your paper so that they come out smooth and even. Just go on being very patient and very slow and steady with your circles. If you have a compass which holds a pen or fine liner, you can go on using that rather than going freehand like this, but I usually prefer going freehand because I am a bit skeptical about adding a stroke of line, black line all around this in case I slipped my compass off. So that's the reason I go freehandedly drawing the circles. The next thing that we do is we are gonna go ahead and erase off all the lines. So just erasing off all of these pencil lines over here, and then we go ahead and start off with the pattern detailings. Now for pattern detailings, you can go for any of the structure of your choice, be it any geometrical shapes such as circles, lines, triangles, dots, line and dots, anything, or any organical or motif kind of detailing such as swirls, spirals, or petals, for that matter of fact, leaves, lotus petals, any kind of detailing or motifs that you would like to go ahead and add into your mandala. And also what you can do is go on using a pencil first rather than using the fine liner directly if you're unsure about patterns you want to make or you want it to be symmetrical. So what I'm doing first before we go on adding any of the patterns here is I'm going ahead and drawing a side little circle to complete this eyeball and another circle to completely fill it off. And we are going to fill off this circle, leaving this little circle blank to show our eye here. The next thing that I'm going to do is to this area is I'm going for very little petals straight line, curved line at the top region, and again bring down the line. So 2 lines and a curve for this petal shape. And we are moving along the shape here in a curved manner, filling off the remaining white spaces to make the pattern detailing pop out. Same way, I'm gonna go ahead, rotate it and do it on the other half as well. So we are done here with the first row of our pattern detailing. Next, what we are going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go for a combination of a bit of intermediate kind of pattern detailing. So I'm going to start off with one single spiral or a swirl, thicken it at the end a bit to make it look intricate, and I'm going to go ahead for side petal, which is a curved line alongside, another curved line alongside, and a third line at the bottom half like this. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat it out. Again a swirl after this, and then we go on adding the 3 petals. If you feel like you're uncomfortable with the fine liner at first go, you can always go ahead and try your pattern shape out or complete it out with the pencils like this, and then you can go ahead and redo it with your fine liner, which will not only give you the perfect symmetrical pattern shapes, also the confidence that you need, and as well as the uniformity that the mandala requires. So it's always preferable that if you wish to go, you can use your pencils first. Rotate your paper so that you can go ahead and work around this curved shape. Keep as much symmetrical as possible each of the swirl of the similar size. And here I have a very little amount of space left, so I'm going to just twist out the circle or the swirl in a bit of different direction to make it look complete. And to this areas, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a very thin tip fine liner to add minute little detailings, which is the zoom in is the 0.5 mm fine liner, but you can go for any thinner tip fine liner or of the same fine liner, nothing specific here. Just going for a thinner tip adds a bit of contrast to your mandala detailings. So I'm going to go ahead and add little circles at this remaining gaps and then fill off the rest of the remaining white spaces. Make sure whenever you're drawing your pattern shapes, they are completely touching the outlining area so that it looks full and much more intricate and covers up a lot of space rather than going ahead and fill off too much of blank area with the black or any fine liner color that you're using. to this petals as well. For our first layer, I'm going to add little lines, 3/4 lines, to make this look intricate. You can also go ahead and add a line and a dot if you wish. Like this. So here we are done with the first 2 layers. For the second layer, what I'm doing is taking out again my 0.3 mm fine liner here, and not the thickest one. So taking out the 0.3 mm fine liner once again. So we are going to go ahead and alternate between the 0.3 mm and the 0.5 mm this time. And what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and adding like single petal and 2 side petals, going for a little circle, and again going for the same mid petal and the side petal. You can go, as I said, with any pattern shapes or geometric shapes or motifs of your choice. This, and again I'll just go ahead and switch to my thinner tip fine liner, that is the 0.05 mm, and to this area I'm going to just go on adding a little spiral and then fill off the remaining space to make these areas look intricate. And to this petals I'm going to add the little 3/4 lines as well, so that it's much more intricate looking. So here we are done with our third layer as well. Now for the next layer, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fill up these two triangular shapes, and for this what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a straight line using again the thicker tip fine liner for this pattern shapes. I'm going to go ahead and add a little circle and another minute little circle at the end, and go ahead and bring petals from the sides towards this mid area, and again fill off the remaining spaces. And to this area what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add simple lines. Same way I'm going to go ahead and fill this area off as well, doing the same structural detailing to maintain and balance the symmetry. Now coming back to these areas, the next structure that I'm going to do is I'm going to go for zigzag shape or triangular shapes. Again go for double outlining them. Just this lower ones, not going for the upper halves. And what I'm going to do is to add tilted lines on the bottom halves, straight line and the combination of tilted lines, so that it somewhat matches these two areas. But again, there is no hard and fast rule. You can work according to yourself in your comfort zone. And to this upper halves, what I'm doing is I'm going ahead drawing a straight line and a dot over it, consecutive smaller line and a dot on either side. Same way filling the top halves. For the next row, I'm going for 2 spirals starting from one end and meeting at the center point. Thickening out at the extreme end to make it look much better. Filling off the remaining white areas to make it pop out. For the next layer, I'm going for the petal shapes but a bit thicker, or known as the elliptical shape, 2 straight lines and a curved upper portion. and taking out, this time switching to the thinner tip fine liner once again, like it is the 0.05. I'm going ahead and redrawing the same shape, and once again redrawing the same shape and filling in the innermost shape here. Again switching to the thicker tip fine liner for the next layer here, and for the next layer what I'm doing is I'm going for straight lines, leaving a bit of gap or bit of broader space this time, and not very close to each other. And again taking out my thinner tip fine liner to fill in the detailing. What I'm doing is I'm adding a line and dot alternate ways, one from top to bottom, another from bottom to top. This so here I'm done with the next layer as well. For the next layer what I'm doing is again I'm going for a bit of triangular shapes or the zigzag shape. This time after I'm done with the shape, I'm switching to my thinner tip fine liner and going for the double outlining again on the bottom half. And on the top half, on the bottom half, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fill it out with a big center circle and two minute little circles at each end. You can go for a combination of different geometrical shapes, play around with the sizes to form new pattern shapes or new detailings of your choice. And you can always try that out with the pencil first to check if it looks soothing to you, and then go ahead and redo it with your fine liner or make some changes with the pencil once again, and once you're satisfied, and then go ahead and redo it with the fine liner. And for this upper region I'll just rotate my paper so that it's easier for me to work, and I'm going to add a little swirl, and to that I'm going to go on adding petals from the side, same way like we did our second layer, and we fill off the remaining white spaces. For the next layer, again taking out the thicker tip fine liner. For this layer what I'm doing is I'm just going for a very simple kind of detailings, which is the petal one like we had started off, keeping it very simple, thinner this time rather than the bigger elliptical shapes. For the symmetry, what you need to do is go on practicing and being as slow and as steady as possible, and walking around in such a way so that it's almost symmetrical. Again, taking the thinner tip fine liner, going for adding a line and a dot in this to make it look intricate. You can keep them blank as well, that's totally your call. And for this final areas, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a swirl from this end, single 2 petals here on side. Similar way, I'm going to go ahead and fill this in the opposite direction to show our enhancement or the structure forming towards this middle area or the mid line here. And for this mid area to fill off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and combine 2 of the swirls, maintaining the balance and symmetry from both the sides, adding a mid circle in between and going for drawing a leaf like structure in the center, a diagonal line and curved line to bring it down. So the lotus structure here. You can go on adding as many side petals as your space permits. Just a little lines to make that look intricate. So once you're done completing, you have your Hamsa hand mandala ready. Now adding a bit of the evil eye structure to this, what I'm doing is I'm taking out 2 of my colored brush pens. One is a lighter blue shade and one is a much more darker blue shade over here. And you can use any coloring medium for the matter of fact, be it watercolors, be it pencil colors, acrylics, wash, anything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going for coloring out this alternative layers of circles in white, blue, sky blue and the dark blue. So leaving the center one white, I'm going for the lighter blue in my second layer, filling it out completely. Again rotating. If you are using color pencils, or use a very sharpened tip, or if you are using watercolors, use a very thin brush to fill out these areas. And after the lighter blue, I'm going to take out the darker blue and fill in for my next layer. So here I'm done with my second layer as well, filling on the remaining white spaces here and there. And again, just leaving a layer of white, I'm going to go ahead and again go for my light blue color. And again my dark blue color next. Again leaving the white, going for next layer of the light blue. And finally again the dark blue to complete it off. Finally, here we are done with the Hamsa hand mandala. Hope you enjoy learning and creating with me, and also knowing about this ancient Middle Eastern amulet and creating mandala patterns along with me. Do share your views in the comment section below, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and press the bell icon so that you get notified each and every time we post a new video. Bye bye guys, stay safe, stay creative.